live. Hey. Hi, friends. I'm always nervous whenever I hit the go live button because I never really know what's going to happen. It could be an utter craziness, or I could actually probably go live. So I have a lot of computers right now. Cassandra Gaines is live. Fantastic. Oh my goodness. I have so much for you guys today. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. Let me open up my chat on Vimeo and make sure that everybody's good to go. All right. So, because there's so much that went on this week, I decided that the best way to approach it is that I want to make you guys a list, and we'll start with what's been going on this week in the news and in the legal world. And some of this you won't find on the news. Some of this is what's been going on that Cassandra's been hearing in the buzz. So I'm Cassandra Gaines. I am a transportation lawyer, and I am also a risk consultant, more risk consultant these days than a lawyer. Kind of feel like I'm retiring the lawyer business, but not right now. Right now, I've got a lot of good stuff for you. So let's check LinkedIn. Let me refresh it to make sure that everybody's here. And then here we go with my live on LinkedIn. Yay. Oh, Chris. Hi, Chris Jolly. Oh my goodness, all my friends. I'll tell you guys, I'm always super nervous about going live. I'm just like a dumb lawyer. What do I know about all this technology and all this jazz? I'm always super nervous. And then I see my friends. I see Jamin is on here. He always has my back. Chris Jolly. Oh, Rebecca Walker, you came back. Yay. And I love seeing, and Jonathan Trimble helped us out a lot last week. And I'm sure he is going to be very excited about what I've got for you guys today. Because I got a lot for you guys today, because it has been absolutely crazy. And I want to start with the craziest stuff. Okay. So, first, the states that are going a little crazy. Oh, hold on. I got a graphic for you guys. I'm going to do a graphic. Okay, hold on. You know, I've been practicing graphics, and I'm not like Dooner. I have to like do everything by myself, and I'm not as smooth and cool as him. So please do not put me in the Dooner category, because he is really good at this stuff, and I'm not. So let's do states acting cray. Yeah. Okay, states acting cray, because they are acting cray. Okay, first of all, this is in the chatter. So Texas, by county, more and more, they've been requiring our truck drivers to wear masks in order to even enter into the facilities, enter into the truck stops or anything. I was super annoyed when I heard this, that this was going on, because I really just feel like everybody should be leaving our truck drivers alone, and actually quite the opposite. Everyone should be helping and supporting our truck drivers. I understand we're all trying to protect each other and the public, but if a truck driver is tired, been driving all day, and truly doesn't have a mask, I mean, you could tell him or her that they can't use the bathroom? Is that what we're telling them? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get food because you don't have a mask? So then the truck driver's got to probably just find a t-shirt and wrap it around his or her face and say it's a mask. It's just weird, you guys. So truck drivers, we have your back. I hear this stuff, and you don't you think for a second I'm not running to the FMCSA, my buddy at Jim Mullen, saying, what the fuck is all this? Blah, blah, blah. Because I've got other crazy stuff for you to do that states are doing as well. So that's the first one, Texas. Thanks, Texas. Thanks for treating our drivers really well. We really appreciate it. Okay, I should pause and not be so negative. There are good things going on as well, and Texas is being good to our truck drivers. I shouldn't be so dramatic. I just get passionate, and I get defensive over people in our industry. So here's this one is going to make you guys laugh. Let me just make sure. Let me just check in and make sure. Okay, Melissa and Jerry Cooper. Okay, you're on, because I'm going to make you guys laugh with this one. Hi, Bernadette. Hi, Carrie. Yeah, Cornell. Yeah, Cornell alumni. And Brian Watt. Thanks for coming back, Brian. Hello from Sarasota, New York. Yay. Okay, so hi, Fred. This one, you guys are going to have a good time with this one. New Mexico wants and is trying to take truck drivers' temperature coming and going, or actually probably coming to New Mexico. I saw this in a CNN article and I almost fell off my fucking seat. They are trying to consider how they would go about taking the truck driver's temperature. They haven't put it into effect yet because they don't have enough quote unquote temperature readers. I say nothing else about this. So you know that I bitched to the FMCSA about this too. And oh, by the way, our buddy Jim Mullen, who was on last week from the FMCSA, he knows about all this stuff. Every time I email him or call him, he is well in the loop and he's way ahead of me on working on this stuff, which also makes me feel like I'm just gum on the bottom of his shoe. But that's okay, because I'm going to keep fighting and I'm going to keep yelling. And I guess that's why Dooner nicknamed me MadGaines, because that's what I do. I guess that's me. So I think Jim's from the FMCSA is pretty used to it by now. All right, this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Okay. Hi, Robert Reagan. Oh, Robert, I hope you didn't just miss my little piece about New Mexico wanting to take truck drivers' temperature. So hold on, guys. I want to show this to you. I don't just want to tell you this. I have to show it to you. So bear with me while I try to share my screen. Okay, Chrome tab. Here it is. Hopefully this works. Please work. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. Hope you guys can see this shit. New Mexico is cray-cray. Oh my God, May, you are so right. Hi, Edward from Atlas Worldwide Group. Big company, good company there. Can you guys see this declaration form that I have up right now? I'm hoping you can see it, okay? If you can't, and I've messed something up on Vimeo, here's what it says. The state of Utah, they have created an electronic travel declaration form. And what they want is anyone over 18 years of age and older, Utah must submit an electronic state of Utah declaration form 3 hours before they enter into the state of Utah. So let's talk about this for a minute, because I understand that my nickname is MadGaines, and that's for a reason, because this stuff really gets me lit up. But I understand why it's in place. I understand that people are trying to come from a good place. I just worry about our truck drivers. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna go scroll down just in case. I'm hoping you guys can see this. Health information. Has anyone in your party been tested for COVID-19 in the last 14 days? How many people are going to hit this button? Or even better, this button. And by the way, if I've screwed up the screen sharing, it says, yes, awaiting results. Everyone is going to lie, Utah. Everyone. If you see this, I kind of started filling it out because I wanted to go through and click like, yes, I'm awaiting results. And are you or anyone in your party currently experiencing any of the following symptoms? Cough, shortness of breath, or fever? Yes. Oh, I'm just going to click on them all. Cough, shortness of breath, fever. I just want to see, like, let's just say, are you a Utah resident or are you a worker? And I just wanted to go through and click on this to see what would happen. And I bet you, look, they keep going. Please list the specific places traveled in the previous 14 days. Our truck drivers are going to have to do all of this? And I would love to know if any truck drivers have been stopped at the Utah border or anybody had to fill this out. I would love to know that answer. Because this is craziness, you guys. Okay. Let me just double check that nobody's saying anything about this craziness on my chat. Hi, Grace. I missed you last week, Grace. I'm so glad you're joining us again. Hello, Sir Steve. And okay, so just want to make sure that everybody's. Hi, Michael from Arkansas. And I see you're a cargo claims professional. Make sure that you follow me, Michael, because next week I've got a lot of cargo claims training going on, live webinar, and it's pretty wild, actually. Okay, Matt Schlichting, you from my former Schneider coworker, you are awesome that you just gave me that quote. You know I love my cousin Vinny. I'm obsessed with it. And that's also my favorite scene. Okay, CM Evans, I knew you'd be here. Okay, he also says a really good point. Okay, I can tell on LinkedIn and Facebook that you are now seeing whatever I've been posting. So I'm going to wait for you guys all to go nuts. Okay, so CM Evans says you can look forward to shippers and receivers taking these measures in the future for anyone going into facilities. For anybody who's been following me, and Jamin already responded, if you don't follow Jamin, you guys have to follow Jamin. He's just a great energy on social media. He is just great ideas, love everything about him. So for the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks, this has been going on. Shippers have already been keeping drivers from going to docks. They aren't allowed to touch the bill lading. They are getting their temperatures taken. Yes, I've heard that. And so those of you who've been constantly on my live show, this is not new news to you. Those of you who are new to Cassandra's show, this is news. Or you're seeing it, but you're like, what the heck? So here's what I've been telling my clients that have been dealing with this issue. So when your driver is not allowed to touch the bill lading, or they are making your driver fill out like a kiosk, I want you to have the driver notate whatever bill lading you've given the driver or anything, or email the broker, whatever, and just say, hey, not allowed on the dock, cannot inspect the goods. Shipper's putting a seal on it now, or no seal, I'll put my own on it later on. But I want the driver to, any way the driver can, document that he or she is not allowed on the dock. Also, I would document that my temperature is taken too. I don't know why yet. It's going to come to me at like 2 a.m. of why, but something in my gut says just document everything, drivers. And, Melissa and Jerry, they're going to be used to this. I know they're already going to be like, yes, Cassandra, that's accurate. Hi, Ben Cross. Thank you for loving my set. I change it often because I get very, very bored with stuff. And Tyler from TTN Fleet Solutions. I listened to you on What the Truck. You did a great job. JD's my BFF. You guys have a great product. Thank you for joining us. Patrick, I knew you were going to say something. Yes, Patrick is telling us that ATA and the Utah Trucking Association are working on to getting this corrected. I'll tell you that as much bitching as I have been doing, there has been so much good going on with throughout our industry, especially with the FMCSA and the ATA and all these associations. Sorry, TA, you've kind of been bombing it lately. I love you guys, but you've been bombing it lately. But the rest of the associations and the FMCSA especially have been so supportive, just so supportive of us. And I really, really appreciate that. So when I go wild and crazy and I'm yelling, usually it's because it's who I am and I'm trying to educate you guys. But know that I do really, I appreciate all these associations' help. Brendan, I haven't heard from you in so long, Dragon Slayer. You are awesome. And you say exactly what I saw when I saw that form, which is, that's a joke. No driver's going to fill that out. Oh, by the way, we've just been staring at the form the whole time. Let me stop sharing the screen so you guys can see me. This whole time I forgot to, okay. Lawyers and technology. So, okay. All right. I wanted to tell you guys, we talked about drivers not allowed to touch the bill lading. I want them to document it. I want them to take pictures, by the way, please. So if you're not allowed near the dock or whatever, even if it's a picture of your truck and you're like, I'm not allowed near that, is being loaded right now, that's fine. Just document, because all of us in the claims world, we all know that we got hell to deal with, and we have been knowing it. Just so you know, next week, I've got another basics cargo claim training course. The week after that is going to be an advanced claims training course. So those who've already attended a couple of my basics will probably want to go to the advanced version. And these cargo claims training, they're intense. So just be ready. Okay, so I can see on LinkedIn that I'm still, oh, Erica Watts. I miss you. I love you. This is the first time you've joined us. Welcome to the party. I think actually you joined us on Facebook. Okay, so next topic. I do want to talk about. So we talked about New Mexico, we talked about Texas, we talked about Utah, states doing crazy stuff, right? I want to put something up that I saw, and hold on, let me do my graphic so that I know you guys make fun of me. I know. Okay, so I want to do one more thing. I saw this article, and maybe you guys are cooler than me, and you're in the mainstream already, and you know this stuff. It's new to me. LA, the mayor of LA. So this is attention to all business owners in Los Angeles. If you still have employees that are working out of your office or you own facilities in an asset company, warehouses, blah, blah, blah. The Los Angeles mayor is requiring workers at any essential business to wear masks while at work. This might not be new to anybody. Some of you, it might be new too. So the side note I wanted to put in here is that Los Angeles mayor also put that he wants the employers to provide the masks or reimburse the workers for buying the masks. If you have issues getting masks, you could provide cloth. You could find alternatives. The employees could bring in their own, but do not make it mandatory. Employees bring their own. This is your problem to solve as an employer. So I wanted to give everybody in Los Angeles a heads up on this. I also hold on, let me check LinkedIn because you guys are now starting to see all this stuff. I hate this delay. I'm such a baby. Okay, Jason Chandler, filling this out. Does it count as part of your hours of service? Actually, that's a pretty good question. So I want to make sure that you guys don't have any questions about stuff. Chris Baker is my first person on Facebook. Chris, you're usually on LinkedIn. I love you. I miss you, Chris. I have a feeling we'll be hanging out tonight. Let me go into the next topic. This is a MadGaines moment. Okay? I understand that a lot is changing and businesses are trying to do their best. Let me move this over. They're trying to do their best to work within all the rules and keep up with all the changing laws. But that's why I'm having this show, right? If you're a business, I want you to be careful with volunteer work. I'm not going to call anybody out. What I'm going to say is I'm very lucky. I have a lot of friends in the industry, and they keep me in the loop on what's going on. I'll tell you that as an employer, you should be very careful of volunteer work. So there are rules in the law around volunteer work. If an employee, let's say you decide that you own a business and your employers are still coming into the facilities, and you've decided to have a mask making party, and everybody's going to get together and they're all going to make masks, and it's for all the coworkers, and it's going to take people all Friday, or maybe they come in on Saturday and do it. And you're saying to your employees, this is completely volunteer, completely. You don't have to come in on Saturday if you don't want to and help us make masks for your coworkers. You don't have to, which we all know what that means. So here's when you're thinking about volunteer work as an employer, I want you to think about this. First of all, those employees may have a claim that you owe them at least minimum wage for those hours. And that's because if employees are volunteering, it has to be for something that is completely outside the scope of your business and your bottom line. So like sometimes employees will volunteer like going to a soup kitchen, or they'll do religious stuff or something humanitarian. That's okay. If it adds in to your bottom line and it helps your operations, that volunteer work is not volunteer work. That's work that has to be paid. So that's my warning about volunteer work. Now I'm going to wait and look over at LinkedIn to see, is LinkedIn still sitting on that? Oh God, I was yapping forever and now you're sitting on a form. Okay. So let me go through some of these comments. I sometimes hate doing this because I feel bad that people just sitting here waiting for me. Patrick, I knew you were going to like the Cornell shirt, Patrick. I figured. This is my Cornell. School almost killed me. Okay. And let's see. Jamin, of course, is all over this stuff. He's so fantastic. Hi, Anthony. Ken Daniels. I just want to scroll through this and see what people are talking about. If the customer wants a product delivered, they should provide masks for. Ooh, Stanley. Okay, Stanley brings up a really good point. If the customer wants their product delivered, they should provide the masks for any employee and guest or visitors. Why isn't this a law? That's a really good point. And also, why isn't it just common courtesy? And it speeds up operations, keeps everyone safe. That's a good point. And we all are thinking the same thing. We're all like, oh, it's hard to get masks. I mean, people are making them right now. So maybe that's why. But maybe we could at least try. Like Stanley is right. We could at least tell, I don't know. I like it, Stanley. Okay, so Brian Watt says, I assert that the coronavirus event should spur change in the transportation logistics environment from bottom to top. Warehouse workers, dispatchers, drivers are asking, if we're so essential, why are we so poorly getting paid? Okay, I've heard this a lot on social media, and not just social media, all over the place. So I'm going to go off script here. Let me make sure that I'm not messing something up from technology perspective. But here's the thing. Sorry to breathe so heavily. I get so excited. I get so excited. Okay. Okay, I see you guys chatting on Vimeo. Don't worry. I'm keeping track of Vimeo. I'm keeping track of Facebook. And I'm keeping track of mostly LinkedIn because that's where all my little friends are. Okay, so Stanley, you cracked me up. All right, are you ready? I wrote this down. We're skipping ahead a little bit because of this comment. I'm just a lawyer. I'm just a dumb lawyer, you guys. I have worked for a lot of companies, more than what you'll see on my resume on LinkedIn. And I haven't met as many people that have worked for as many companies, and I mean employed for as many companies as I have in our industry over the last 9 years. And I'll tell you that this isn't my place to talk about this, but I do hear it a lot, and I have stood in a lot of these individuals' shoes. So, brokers, my message to you, the MadGaines message, is to take care of your carriers if you can with regards to rates. They're out there, they're busting ass. I heard one person say that that they are getting shamed on the road because people think that they are passing along the coronavirus all over the country. And I also hear good stories too. But take care of your carriers if you can. Carriers, stop bitching about brokers. They're not all that bad. I see all these jokes and people are throwing brokers under the bus and saying the brokers are the end of the world and I'm not making money because of brokers. Let me tell you something that y'all know. And I'm not telling you something you haven't heard, but you need to hear it again, which is shippers are the ones setting the rates. Actually, consumers are the ones who want the goods cheap. They'll pay a certain amount. Shippers are now setting our rates. Brokers, carriers, shit rolls run down the hill. So all y'all need to come together. Stop bitching about each other because that doesn't help. And come together as one. So I'm not saying, Brian, I'm not saying you don't have a valid point. I'm not saying that rates aren't shit right now because they are, but don't completely blame brokers. Start helping us and coming up with ideas. And the infamous Timothy Dooner is here. Yay! Tim Dooner. I never call you Tim. It's just weird just saying it. Dooner. Please don't judge me. I'm doing all this manually. I'm not good with technology. I know that your show is like first rate amazingness, and I watched it. Well, I will always watch What's the Truck. Please do not judge me. JC Fetter, who's one of my favorite New Yorkers. He's in Florida, but you know, New York and Florida, same thing. He says, I'm giving all my regulars the same rates. Yay. And then Michael Murphy says, just following the market. See, you guys? You see? And the brokers that are on here right now, they're my people, and they're fucking fantastic. And the carriers are too, they're on here. And they're also my people. And come together, you guys. All right. Next rant. Wait, I think I got a good one for the next rant. Okay. Hold on. This one's funny. All right, hold on. Let me get my graphic up. Graphic. Okay. We are not going on a rant about this, by the way. I have spent hours dedicated to this topic. Days. just nonstop, okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you. TQL is an industry bully. Yep, we all know that. And thank you, Freightwaves, for that wonderful article. Thank you, Stephen Oatley, for your breaking article. Thank you for everyone out there doing a great job in fighting this bully. If you need information and you're wondering why I'm not talking about this, and you're kind of new to Cassandra and this crazy world, go on LinkedIn, check out my articles, or message me, and I'll send you videos and articles and resources that I've provided since the day TQL terminated everybody. So I have a lot on this topic. I'm not going to repeat it because a lot of people I can see here that are following me right now and that are on this show, they have heard it all. They're used to the Cassandra rant about TQL. Randy Hudson, yay, you're here. Randy Hudson said that I'm hearing that since I started brokerage in 97, they're good and bad in all groups. He's right. Ooh, CM Evans, let's see what you had to say. Disagree. Carriers finance the infrastructure, brokers operate in it. Ooh. I'd like to hear what my brokers have to say about that because I like that point. All right, so let's keep plugging along. I have something else for you guys too. I'm going to move quick on this topic, or unless you guys start yelling at me and telling me to slow it down. Because this one, I feel like I might be too early for this topic. So maybe we talk about it again next week. But for those of you who have employees still in the office, for those of you who have assets and warehouses, the CDC has released guidance, and the CDC's been freaking awesome. The guidance is very easy to read. It's wonderful. Oh, side note, someone told me a joke that CDC does a really good job helping us get through the COVID-19 situation, but nobody can release guidance telling us how to select carriers, brokers how to select carriers. Okay, I'm done. CDC just released guidance for workers returning after potential COVID-19 exposure. So, unless you guys tell me to slow down, I'm going to blow through these requirements really quick, high level. So the employee had COVID-19, and the employee is now returning. And it also says potential COVID-19 exposure too. So I guess it was a scare. The employee went into self-quarantine or had the symptoms, went into self-quarantine. Now it's coming back to work when you're like, oh God, I feel bad for that employee because everyone's going to be like, whoa. It's going to be like, the employee's going to walk down the hallway and it's going to be like 10 feet. Everybody's keeping away. That's horrible for me to laugh at. God. Okay. So first of all, before the employee gets in the building, you're supposed to have somebody in healthcare pre-screen the employee, maybe even send them to the doctor and have a return to work notice. That'd be a good idea. CDC didn't say that, but I think that's a better idea. You're supposed to take the employee's temperature, assess the symptoms prior to them starting to work. So if they still have a fever and they're coughing everywhere, they got to go back home and hopefully you didn't get contaminated. Let me just check real quick and make sure that my chat on Vimeo show hasn't even started. What is he talking about? Uh-oh, hold on 1 minute, guys. Weird. Okay. Someone's telling me that on Vimeo, the show hasn't started. I tell them, go to my LinkedIn page. It's live there. All right, let's keep plugging along. So here are the other things that we have here. Regular monitoring. So self-monitor under the supervision of the employer's occupational health program. I don't know about that. Maybe you check in with the employee, like someone from HR checks in with the employee and says, hey, how you feeling after a week? Have any temperature, have any coughing, blah, blah, blah. They do want the employee to wear a mask. They want the employee to continue for social distancing. And they want the company to continue to disinfect and clean routinely. Earlier in the week, I put out a video. I don't think I need to repeat the rant I went on, but for those employers who still have employees working in their office who could be working otherwise remotely, disinfecting, cleaning routinely, please at least do that. Watch that video if you need more guidance. Now, let's go into the next topic. Let's, 2 minutes. 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 2 Okay. So let's just double check LinkedIn, the comments, because I am blowing through. How am I doing on time? Whew, I'm blowing through a lot of topics. So let's just make sure that you guys are all good on LinkedIn. So, oh, Chandler, Megan. I hope I didn't brutalize your last name. That's why I just stick with first names. Chandler, it's good to see you on. He says, 'tis the season. We found one of our shipments was double brokered, which I'm about to talk about in just a minute. Okay. I do have MadGaines double brokering tips and MadGaines rate confirmation tips. So just hold on with me for just a little bit longer. Brian Watt says he's got to go. Good show. Keep it up. David Bell is here. My favorite person besides Hunter from Lean Logistics, Lean Technology, Lean Staffing. I didn't mean Lean Logistics. Hi, David Bell. So CM Evans, I just want to see what you were up to. You have good comments. Kenny, we're going to wait on that question. That's a good one. Okay. Hours of service. Here's the thing. Again, if you're new to Cassandra and you're like, why isn't she talking about hours of service more? Why isn't she going into all the changes with the FMCSA? Dude, I have done a lot of content on that topic. So email me anytime you want or message me on LinkedIn. I'll send you all the videos. I'll send you my one-pagers. I mean, there's so much good content out there that I have dedicated, I guess, my life to so far. So the FMCSA has expanded the hours of service, we call them waiver. It's not really a freaking waiver, to May 15th, 2020. On LinkedIn, in my articles sections, Lean Staffing and I developed a one-pager on, exactly what you need to know about this hours of service expansion. And it is not a regurgitation of whatever the FMCSA says. It is step-by-step how to do it properly and what you need to do. So go there to my LinkedIn page and the articles and you'll see it, or just message me on LinkedIn and I will send it to you. Okay, remember, MadGaines, that's me, do not nickname me that, I think you should follow the rules, the hours of service rules, which on What the Truck today, they had a really smart, wonderful driver talk about the hours of service rules and how he's handling things. That's a good episode to check out. So follow the hours of service, please, because guess what's going to happen if you don't? First of all, you're going to get tired. And I know you all are running balls to the wall and y'all getting tired already, drivers. And God bless you, but I know you're getting tired. So those hours of service are there to protect a lot of people, especially new drivers to the industry. Some of my experienced folks, it's not a big deal for them to waive the hours of service. They're used to and have a lot more experience driving truck. But some of the newer drivers, this is very dangerous. The FMCSA is doing everything they can to help our country and to help us. And that's why they provided the waiver. We all know that. But snarky Cassandra last night added in my notes, plaintiff attorneys, they're tipping their hats to the FMCSA right now. On that note, I got some accidents to talk about. Let me go back to my graphics. Police recovering. Come on, graphics. Let's keep it rolling. Truck drivers falling asleep at the wheel. This is hard for me. Last week, I told you about two different incidents. One is a very broadly accident in Texas. It involved toilet paper. Driver flipped his truck because he fell asleep at the wheel. The other one was a guy in Florida driving a logging truck, fell asleep, I think, and he died. This week, the things that came up on my radar. 7:30 a.m. California, yesterday. Truck driver falls asleep at the wheel, causes accident. Causes accident and slows traffic for hours. Truck driver is okay, but others may have been injured. Wednesday, driver fell asleep, collided with the center median guardrail, jackknifed, partially blocking two lanes, spilled about 100 gallons of diesel fuel. Any of you in the accident world, like I used to be for 2 years when I worked for Schneider, Anytime you have anything, any type of spill on the highway means lots of. One time I represented a truck driver who jackknifed, and he paralyzed a guy who was coming in the opposite direction. So I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer, but I do want to talk to you guys about these truck accidents. The hours of service waiver. Sorry for all those who continuously hear me say this, and they're my followers. To those of you who are new, the hours of service waiver does not protect you from a lawsuit and will not protect you in court. And when it's time for you to be deposed or you're on the witness stand and it's going to be 2 years later and people aren't going to remember drivers as heroes. They're going to be like, that asshole fell asleep and hurt 3 little kids and her mama and da-da-da, or allegedly, by the way. A lot of this is allegedly too. And, he was violating the hours of service. Oh, but the hours of service are waived. The FMCSA waived them. Were you tired? Tell me why the hours of service are even in place. Tell me why the people follow them. What's the history? What's the data? What's the science behind it? How come you didn't just still follow the hours of service? You knew the government normally says you can't drive longer than this amount of hours or you'll get in an accident. That's you, driver, getting deposed by a plaintiff attorney. I'm just here to help you because that's what I do. I defend trucking companies. Matt, I remember the mess in Michigan. That was a headache for you and I for a very long time. That was crazy. It always sticks in my head. David, I don't know if there's any data yet about now versus pre-COVID sleep-related accidents. I should look into that. But I think my eyes are more on it. So maybe I'm illuminating it now because of the hours of service. And maybe there hasn't been a change. That's a good point. I shouldn't be so negative. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to the party. Anybody who hasn't followed Kyle, he's my favorite Canadian. One of my favorite Canadians. I have 2 other Canadians on here. I'm sorry. Love you guys. All right. So let's get into rate confirmations and double brokering. Let me check my comments on every page before I dive into this because this is a hot topic. And also, let me put up my cargo claims training thing because I love cargo claims and I love Carmack. Okay, we're checking. I think my Vimeo people gave up. I don't really know what happened there, why it wouldn't work on Vimeo, but Emotional Pat says, sup, Kachandra. I don't have a question. I just wanted to say what's up. I like that. Okay, so now give me 1 second to get you guys into the graphic about double brokering. What I want to do is the word double brokering is a very negative connotation to it. Of course, it happened about 6 or 7 years ago. Like, I guess the whole industry just went, I remember the whole industry went nuts on double brokering, and it was like this word you never use. Sorry, I'm just putting up this graphic for us. Okay, we've talked about this in some of my other live shows. And those of you who follow me, you're going to get a little bit more details, but you've heard this before. Actually, how about we do this? Hopefully I don't screw this up, and I apologize if I do. But I'll share my screen and I'll give you some tips on double brokering. So here's the thing. Double brokering and co-brokering are the same thing. Okay? So double brokering is when a shipment is given to a broker and then the broker gives it to another broker. And then co-brokering is the same exact thing. Brokers are giving the shipments to each other. So there's this bad connotation about double brokering. Okay? But almost every broker does it. And that's because there are times where you need to use a broker for shipments. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, because I mentioned it a couple times in the past because it's been happening more and more. And people are like, help us, give us more information. If we do need to use a broker, how do we go about using a broker in the best way? So mind you, I whipped this up last minute because I'm doing all this crazy shit for free. Hold on 1 minute. Let me get you my application window. Ooh. Okay, I'll just show you my entire screen. I don't really know. Application window. Come on. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'm hoping to God that this works and I'm not just going crazy and showing you stuff. MadGaines, double brokering tips. Okay. I know this isn't as fancy as what Dooner does. I know I'm lame, but at least I'm trying to help you guys. So here's what I want you to do if you're a broker and you're considering using a broker for a shipment, which is fine, you guys. Let me see how I did. I'm watching this live to make sure I didn't mess this up. Okay, it looks like I didn't mess it up. Boom. To those of you who are in the tech world and wondering why I'm not using OBS for this stuff, OBS scares the crap out of me. Anyhow, all right, first of all, it's double brokering. Let's just call it co-brokering, okay? For the rest of the conversation, we're going to call it co-brokering. So use a co-broker agreement. There, you can Google co-broker agreement or co-broker contract. You'll easily find one. TIAs is floating all over the place. I'm not quite a fan of that one, but if you can't afford a lawyer, just use it. So it's co-brokering, okay? One broker is giving another broker a shipment. Have an agreement in place. Now, here's what I want you to do from a risk management perspective. I want you to ask for a copy of the carrier agreement that broker you're giving your shipment to is going to use for their carriers. What I want you to do is I want you to get a copy of their carrier agreement. First, I'm trying to make sure that they have one. Okay, so whatever broker you're about to use, anything that goes wrong with that shipment is going to land on your plate. Their problems become your problems. That's why it's really hard to co-broker. It's risky. I keep looking at the screen all funny, like you guys can actually see me, but you can't because I am sharing my screen right now. So what I want you to do is ask them for a copy of the carrier agreement, and then ask about how they vet the carrier. Ask for their insurance certificate, and no talking to our customer. Give me 1 second to go back into our stop sharing. I bet that's fucking with your minds right now, seeing all that. Come on. Cool. I'm back. Let me just double check LinkedIn. Make sure you guys aren't yelling at me. So May says, May is talking to Kevin Nolan. They don't care about me. Class is in session. Austin, class is in session. Okay, Ron Faraday says, one would imagine drivers, like the rest of us, are dealing with more stress and require more rest in these uncertain times. Very true. Okay, Chandler, I knew you'd have something to say about this topic. Chandler says, we find out who the underlying carrier is and book with them directly. This is always a surprise that the carrier that did the double brokering damage, and the good carrier was surprised when we paid them $1,000 more. Okay, I'll wait on that topic. Okay. Greg, double brokering, co-brokering, same thing. For those of you who just tuned in. CM Evans says, I would add to that list, read the agreement. Okay, here's why I didn't have read the agreement, because not everybody's going to know what the hell they're even looking at. So these are like very high level basics. But I agree. CM Evans, I agree. So what I'll tell you is that when you get a copy of the carrier contract, remember, we're giving a broker a shipment here. We're trying to reduce our risk. So we're asking them to sign a co-broker agreement you can find online. We're asking them to give us a copy of the contract that they give to the carrier. We're first validating that they even have a contract. That's really important. Then the second, if you can, and you're not like losing your mind with contracts, scan through the carrier contract and try to find the cargo claims section and look for anything that says $100,000, and I want you to cross it out. Okay? No limitations of liability for $100,000, because the shipment you're giving to that broker who might give it to the carrier might be more than $100,000. I'm going to pause here because my carriers here are going to flip the hell out because I just said this. I represent both carriers and brokers, you guys, so I have to be happy. Carriers, read the carrier contracts and negotiate with the brokers and put in $100,000 limitation of liability in the cargo claims section. Yes, JC, I know. You guys, I know the double brokering. Everyone freaks out. What I'm trying to teach you is how to double broker, how to co-broker in the right way. Obviously, we don't resort to this as our main stream of operations and revenue. In fact, we try not to do this because every time you give a shipment to a broker, you are losing control and there are going to be more problems. So, JC, you're spot on. I should have given a little bit better off of a introduction to here. I'm trying to teach you guys how to co-broker, how to double broker when you have to, because it's a unique service and your shipper is okay with it. What I didn't have on my list of the double brokering tips that should have been added is you got to notify your shipper. Now that is the rule. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Let's do this one more time. Gonna mess with your heads. But let's flip over to schools in session. Okay. First, double brokering. Ready? Double brokering equals co-brokering. Same shit. Have an agreement in place with the broker. Google it. Ask for a copy of the carrier agreement. Check to see if there is a 100K limitation. Ask about how they vet carrier. I'll hit on that. Blah, 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 blah. Notify your shipper in writing that the shipment has been tendered to a broker, or just state the entity, or find out from the broker who will run load and then tell shipper carriers. Okay, now y'all freaking out. Wait, I don't even know if we're going to get to the next section now. Okay, hold on. I think this is showing. Yes, I see it showing. Okay, now I'm going to go back to stop sharing so that I can see what you guys are talking about, because I know you're freaking out. Again. Stop sharing. Cool. All right, you guys ready? Co-brokering. We use it for specialized shipments and in capacity restrictions when your shipper's okay with it. Now, ask for the broker's insurance certificate, but don't get it from the broker. Get it from the insurance broker. But I want you to do something. Ask the broker a trick question. Okay. First trick question is, can you send me a copy of your carrier contract? If it takes some days to send it, that means they didn't have one and they're searching for one online. They're trying to make it up. That's not a good broker to use. Every carrier must have a contract. Second, okay, just checking out my thing to make sure. Okay, second, I want you to ask them how they vet the carrier. How do they check insurance? So a broker will be able to tell you, here are the 5 things we look for when we vet a carrier. They'll be able to tell you high level how they vet a carrier. The insurance certificate piece is the trick question. What I want you to do is I want you to say, I want you to wait and hear how they say it. And what they're going to say is, we just collect the insurance certificates from the carrier. That's no bueno. We want the insurance certificates from the insurance broker, not from the carriers. Insurance certificates are easy to falsify. And we want to avoid situations where they can be falsified. So that is why we get insurance certificates directly from insurance brokers. You know what? Next week, carriers, I'm going to make this more about you guys. I'm doing a lot of broker stuff today. All right, let me pause on co-brokering to make sure that you guys are not yelling at me. Cassandra, no co-brokering. Cassandra, this is horrible. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Everything's horrible. But guess what? You guys got to know how to do it right when it comes to time to do it. Okay? Let's see. All right, let me go through here, okay? Give me a second. All right, so Matthew says, better off losing the load or having a service failure versus intentionally co-brokering a load recipe for issues every time. Freight payment nightmare. He's right. Here's the other thing about freight payments, you guys. And that's been going on a lot lately. Those of you who have worked with my friend Will Allen, because because he's calling your customers for freight payments. That is a huge risk. So your biggest risks when you co-broker are going to be, one, you got to piss off your shipper. You got to have a good relationship with your shipper, and they have to know you to co-brokering or double brokering. Same shit. Two is there's an insurance. The more remote the shipment gets from your control, the more problems you may have. So you could have insurance problems because you're relying on a broker to vet a carrier, which is very, very hard work, very difficult stuff to do. I feel like Donald Trump saying very a lot and stuff in the same sentence. Sorry, I'm not making fun of him. Just feel like him. And then the third piece is that payment, making sure that carrier who actually ran the load, whose name's on the bill of lading, was paid. So on that note, you guys have 10 minutes. Do you want to go into rate cons, or do you want me to keep talking about double brokering? Someone say it now and forever hold your peace. And while you guys are chatting and yelling at me, I'm just going to go to Chandler. I want to see what Chandler says. Mine is not a hot topic. Is that we don't need carriers' help booking our shipments. We book our carriers directly, only, always. I like it. But for some of us in the industry who run specialized shipments, that's not always possible. May says co-brokering is all great until shit goes down south. She's right. You guys, it is tough. But, you know, we can do it if we need to, if it's necessary. It's not a go-to. It's not our business model. David says, does this happen? Can a shipper cancel a load with a broker once the second broker is mentioned and rebook to pay less? Yes, that can happen. And you will never work with that broker ever again. And that broker will know that. So they might not want to do that. And that shipper you're working with is an asshole. So yes, you're right. That could happen. Chandler says, I love trick questions. Me too. I do it all the time. But trick questions, I'm not doing it to be mean. It's because you can figure out who knows their shit and who doesn't by asking key questions in a certain way. Let's see. Matthew says, especially from an attorney with Mad in her nickname. Yes, Chandler also says they are using our trailers. That's my favorite line of garbage. Oh, I want to hit on that in just a minute. Trying to figure out if you guys want to talk about, CM Evans. You were so clever. I didn't even think of that. Okay. Maybe I wait for rate cons. All right, we're waiting on rate. Ooh, a lot of people are voting rate cons. Ooh, a lot of double brokers. Ooh. Okay, what should I do? You guys are almost tied. Let's stick with double brokering, I guess. Ooh, there's a lot of rate con people, though. I wanted to talk about Chandler's comment. Give me 1 second, guys, because he said something. Chandler, this is why we beg carriers to stamp their carrier name on all bill of ladings. I'm going to address that in just a minute, but he said something earlier that really got me, and I wanted to talk about. Okay, I got a good one for you guys. Even those who want rate cons, you're still going to want to hear this, okay? Chandler's right. They are just using our trailers. They're just using our trailers. Or this is my owner-operator. Ready? You ready for this, guys? Owner-operators. Give me 1 second. Let's talk about owner-operators. But let's add it to our list because Cassandra has ADHD and she has to write everything down or she loses her mind. Oh, you guys can see my screen. Good. MadGaines double brokering tips. Okay, ready? Ready for this? Owner-operators. That means they run their MC number. They use, wait, hold on, ready? Carrier you hired has their MC number on the owner-operator's door. Okay? You hired a carrier. You hired Cassandra Trucking. Cassandra Trucking has the MC number. That MC number has to be on the owner-operator's truck door. You run, that owner-operator is only an owner-operator if they're running the load under Cassandra Trucking's MC number. Cassandra Trucking gives the shipment to Chandler Trucking with a different MC number. Owner-operator is not a different MC number. Okay? Remember that, you guys. I want you to remember this shit right here. Boom. Owner operator is a bullshit statement. If the carrier you're hiring is giving the shipment to another carrier with a different MC number, and that different MC number is on that door, and the different MC number is on the paperwork, and that means that's double brokering. Well, that's not double brokering. That's brokering. That's brokering. Okay. Now I'm yelling, so my headset's getting all thrown away. Let me go back so you guys can see me yelling. Stop sharing. Okay, now I'm back. So let's do this too, because I'm an asshole. So here's the thing. Save. Boom. All right, so remember double brokering, co-brokering, and the owner-operator bullshit line, because it's a different MC number, that means they're brokering. Let me check LinkedIn to make sure you guys aren't freaking out on me. I got something next week. You guys show up next week. We're going to do rate cons. And I have the same thing. I have like a MadGaines rate con tips sheet. And it's to help you guys deal with double brokering. It's to help you guys deal with charges, fines, fees, all that shit. And also I put in there what you should and shouldn't have on your rate con. So remember that and come next Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. EST. And we'll talk about rate cons as well. So let me just go through the comments. Let me check the time. Let me go through the comments, okay? Heavy haul, co-broker central. Yes, Kevin, that's exactly what I was getting at. Is heavy haul, unique hauls, metals, anything like that. Who's responsible for the claim on a double brokered load? Of course, Pavel asked this question. Hi, welcome to the show. I haven't seen you in forever. Very smart man. If you guys don't follow him on LinkedIn, do. He's very, very smart. Who's responsible for the claim on a double brokered load? Great question. I'll tell you, I wrote this really intense analysis in 2012. I went nuts on this situation, on this type of analysis, because legally it's a crazy, crazy, crazy world. But I'm not going to go into that. I'll give you the basic answer. When you broker the shipment with your shipper's permission, and you don't have a contract with your shipper, the shipper is going to look to the ultimate carrier who ran the load as the carrier who is responsible for the cargo claim, okay? Whether you want to process it or you want to have that broker process the claim. Me, I'm a control freak, so I would process it and ignore the other broker. They may not let you do that. But the ultimate carrier is still responsible for the cargo claim. Great question, Pavel. If you really want your mind effed with, I think I have the article posted on I'll post the article I did a long time ago, where it's what if you have multiple carriers and multiple carriers touch the shipment? Who's responsible then? Ooh, good one. Now, let's say you do have a contract with your shipper, and that contract holds you responsible for the cargo claim. Well, then you're responsible. And your contract, if you use like the TIA co-broker contract, that's not going to help you in this situation. Sometimes Jonathan Trimble says coin flip, truth. But I don't, that agreement, like if I was editing it, the co-broker agreement, I would make the broker who I'm giving the shipment indemnify and defend me for anything and everything so that I'm not at fault. That's why I don't like that TIA agreement, but that's for another day. Okay. Chandler makes another really good comment. I hope he comes to more of these live events. The only co-brokering I hate is the sneaky kind. He's fucking right. The sneaky stuff. And by the way, carriers and drivers who hate me, that's why you guys barely watch me on Facebook. This is to you guys too when you broker up our shipments and we have to figure it out. He says the sneaky kind is what's bad. The upfront, fully disclosed, fully insured, the good kind is co-brokering. Okay, that's a really great point. That's a good definition between the two. Of course, as usual, I'm about to blow my mind. Next session is rate con. David, you got it. We're doing rate cons. Let me just look at these comments real quick. I would love to see what Melissa and Jerry have to say. have had problems when we book with a carrier and came to find out they brokered it to another carrier. How do we control this? First of all, you know what I'll do, Melissa and Jerry? I'll put on my notes that when we talk about rate cons, I'll also talk about how to prevent double brokering. There's a lot of ways you can prevent double brokering. And a lot of it comes down to data and your carrier sales and training carrier sales. Extend your stream. Chandler. All right. Chandler, you're so funny. He says, extend the stream. You're the host. That's true. And I still got 75 people sitting here watching that on LinkedIn alone. Let me just check Vimeo because I gave up on them. But let me just check and make sure they're not still here. Rate cons. Hi, Kate. Hi, Sir Steve. Jump on LinkedIn if you can. Okay. So let me just check these comments really quick. Thanks, Cass. Touched a nerve today. They also have the trip lease nonsense. Man, Chandler, you're really good. I should just had you call in. They have the trip lease nonsense to disguise sneaky brokering. Yes, I should just add trip lease to double brokering, co-brokering, and owner operator. Trip lease is an old term we used to use a while ago, like 10 years ago, when we had owner operators. We used to use trip leases. But that is another nonsense way to disguise sneaky brokering. Damn, you're a valuable attendee today. Okay, Jonathan, you've been quiet for a while. Jonathan says, I love how brokers try and dictate to the carrier what they are willing to pay for detention or layovers, especially when it's not spelled out on the rate confirmation or in carrier packets. Jonathan, you are hitting on the topic we're going to talk about next Friday, because that shit is annoying. But there are ways we can deal with it and kind of find a common ground. Chandler, that is the transportation attorney's problem. Yes, it is why you hire transportation. Oh my God, CM Evans is trying to hook me up. Okay, he's right. All right. While I wrap up my okay, Austin, you're my new best friend. He says MadGaines is better than Law and Order. Din din. Okay, hold on. Let me just do what CM is right. And my husband, if he heard this, he'd be like, "You're doing these things for free. You spend all this time, and give me 1 second, and then I'll wrap up with a double brokering because there's a couple other points I saw down there that I want to talk about. Especially, and maybe next week we'll also talk about how to deal with people like Will Allen and Baxter Bailey when they say that you owe their clients, their trucking companies, money, and they're calling your customers. We can also talk about that too. MadGaines, and just do legal team at MadGainesLawGroup.com. Woohoo! Okay. Y'all know how to find me anyhow. Okay, so Jonathan says probably should touch on detention and layovers. We're going to talk about that next week too. Kind of next week in recons. Turn these subjects into more cert classes. Okay, that's very smart, CM Evans. So next week, I think it's next Thursday, I'm going to have a live cargo claims basics course. It's intense. So you'll get a cheat sheet. And it goes pretty fast, but I try to do live, like questions, answers. I help you guys. This isn't just me reading the law to you. I don't do that. It's more application. How do you run a cargo claims team? How do you handle all these problems, these issues coming in the door? That's the basics. It's for somebody who's really, really new to cargo claims. The week after that, we're going to do an intense, a level 2 training course, which is more like reading the contracts, but not lawyer reading the contracts, like reading the contracts like salespeople need to know what they agreed to. That kind of shit. So Chris Martin says, Jonathan Trimble, if there is a legitimate detention time and you provide me your in and out times, proving a shipper receiver delayed you, I go to my customer for those fees. That's only fair. Good brokering. To wrap things up. I guess y'all, I think I wrapped it up. I think it's all wrapped up. So, okay, follow me on LinkedIn. CM Evans says go to GainesLawGroup.com. He's right. Listen to him. I probably should hire him for marketing. And follow me on LinkedIn. And also, hey, attend some of my cargo claims training course. We have fun. And Mr. Carmack is there for you too. And Chandler, you are the best attendee today. All right, thanks, guys. And you can always message me questions you want to hear about tomorrow, too. Take care. Now I got to figure out how to turn this thing off. I always mess it up. And then I sit here forever looking around. Let's see.